Hi Taurus, welcome to my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. Today is October 11th, 2019. This is a mid-month reading for the sign of Taurus. It is a general love reading, so it can pertain to any kind of relationship you're dealing with, situations, or circumstances. Take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. I am going to get started after a couple of shuffles and a cut. I am at the tail end of a cold right now. It's been a vicious cold. It's knocked me on my ass. I did the Aries video and unfortunately had a little bit of a coughing attack during that video, so started your video and started to cough right away. And so I have taken some medicine, even though I was going to avoid doing that. And hopefully that will help, but I also grabbed myself some hot coffee in case I start coughing. So bear with me. I hope that it doesn't bother you too much if I cough. But I wanted to get some videos done today. So anyway, Taurus, let's get started. Let's see what's up with you today. And we have the Four of Cups in your underlying energy paired with the Ace of Cups. I like that start. Let's see where this goes. Nine of Cups in reverse. Knight of Swords. Seven of Cups in reverse. Six of Wands in reverse. Two of Cups. And the Hermit. Okay, with your first set of cards, the very first message I'm seeing is that something went wrong within a relationship, possibly a new love relationship. Feels like a new love relationship with the Ace of Cups here in your underlying energy. You've been putting some thought into what went wrong. You may have thought this was something that you were hoping for, something that you really wanted, but it didn't turn out to be quite what you had hoped for. And there was some kind of misstep, maybe a little bit of a failure getting something started. But you're no longer confused about that. I think you have a clear understanding after putting some thought into this as to what may have gone wrong. And I say things went wrong just because the Nine of Cups in reverse here, but I feel it may have just been you taking action toward a new relationship, Knight of Swords. But you've been putting a lot of thought into this to the point where you're like, okay, enough of this thinking, let's do something about it type of energy coming through, because you're no longer confused by this. I do feel like you want to take some action. Now, let's see what else comes up. Clarifying the Four of Cups, you have the Ten of Wands in reverse. Ace of Cups is clarified by the Page of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles clarifying the Nine of Cups. Seven of Swords in reverse, clarifying the Knight of Swords. Fool in reverse. Five of Cups, clarifying the Six of Wands in reverse. Two of Cups is clarified by the Knight of Swords again, this time in the reverse. And the Hermit is clarified by the Two of Cups. Interesting. Okay, let me look at these a little bit with you here before we get going. Okay, so right on with this next set of cards, what I'm seeing is you're moving toward a new relationship or trying to start something new with somebody. And I believe you were going about it in a roundabout way. Maybe not necessarily being direct about it. In other words, you weren't like knocking on this person's door saying, hey, I think you're cool, let's go out on a date, see if this goes anywhere type of thing. It feels more, Taurus, like you were maybe beating around the bush with this person or trying to be a little bit sneaky or sly, or maybe you were feeling a little insecure about whether or not this was something that you really wanted, and so you were maybe testing the waters a little bit by not being overly direct. In other words, trying to get away with, I guess what I'm trying to say is you were trying to get away with not being overly direct about your emotions toward this person, so that if it wasn't really what you wanted, maybe you changed your mind, like, oh, this person isn't as great as I thought that they were, that you could easily step out of it. That's what I'm getting from this set of cards. You were feeling a little overly cautious. And it's the feeling of being overly cautious. You're no longer confused over the fact that this really was the demise or the failure to get things going with this. And you're grieving that now, because I think that now you understand, you have an understanding that this relationship is indeed what you were hoping for. You've had an opportunity now through this trial and error to gain a greater understanding of what this new relationship might be for you. And this lack of being direct or going after what you wanted resulted in a failure to get things going. I'm sorry, here goes the coughing. When I talk a lot, you know, I get the scratchiness in my throat and I start to cough. Because I have not had an issue with coughing this whole time I've been sick. And now I'm talking because I'm trying to make some videos and I'm starting to cough. So I apologize if this bothers you. I'm sorry, but I want to post some videos today, so I'm going to do it. Doing the best I can. Anyway, Taurus. So what I'm seeing is there's been a false start to this new relationship because you kind of had an indirect method of making your feelings known or moving toward this person. And ultimately it resulted in a failure or a false start, and you realized through this process that this is indeed something that you want. This is someone that you want to pursue, or someone you want to, you know, see if there's more to it than, you know, just wanting to go on a few dates. I do feel like you want something out of this relationship. But this little trial and error episode has given you more clarity. Six of Swords. So you, due to this lack of being direct, you've kind of been forced to sit back and look at the situation. Ace of Wands. New beginning. New passionate beginning. This is clarifying the Ace of Cups. A new passionate beginning in love. You've been forced to sit back. You've been forced to sit, you're actually stuck now. Forced to sit back and think about this, and is this what you really want? Yes, it's what you really want. The Sun in reverse, lack of clarity. Lack of clarity and a lack of feeling like you knew what you wanted kept you from being direct, made you feel insecure and unsure. Hierophant in reverse. You weren't sure if taking a direct action was the right thing to do. Eight of Swords. And you were trapped then having to think about it rather than obtaining your Two of Cups. This is clarifying the Six of Wands. So ultimately you failed at this new start, resulting in some grief for you, because now that you know how you feel about not getting what you wanted in this relationship and you're feeling this sense of grief, the Lovers is clarifying Two of Cups. This is definitely somebody that is meant for you, a soulmate, someone you have a soul contract with. But right now, and you think this person is your Empress. Empress came out clarifying the Hermit and the Two of Cups. You put a lot of thought into this and realize that this is the one. This person is the one, without a doubt. That's pretty strong. I mean, I just want to show you some of these cards in your outcome set. Look at this energy. You've got the Two of Cups with the Lovers. Two of Cups with the Hermit card and the Empress. This is the one, Taurus. But your unwillingness to... No, I forgot which... Oh, here we go. Your unwillingness to take direct action caused a misstep, false start, inability to get things going the way you wanted to. Now you're forced to kind of sit back and think about things. Grieve this relationship that hasn't even had a chance to get off the ground yet, I feel. On the other hand, Taurus, it has allowed you to learn a little bit more about this person and to feel a greater connection with them, because now you're certain. Before you were not. You have the 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, the Sun in reverse. All these cards in reverse indicating that you weren't sure if this was the right thing to do, to take action towards this relationship. 7 of Swords in reverse is interesting here. I'm not seeing a connection right now. There may have been some deceit, some sneakiness. It may have been, again, that you just weren't being direct with your communication with this person. Maybe trying to sneak around a little bit. Figure out if this is what you wanted. I don't know if the 7 of Swords means that you were, lying or deceitful in a what's the word? I can't think of the word. I mean, you weren't doing it to be deceitful. You were doing it in order to figure things out for yourself, is what I'm trying to say. There's a word for it, and I can't think of the word. Anyway, let's get some more cards for you, Taurus, and see what other details we can come up for Taurus. Your underlying energy, 7 of Cups in reverse again. Clarifying this 4 of Cups and this 10 of Wands in reverse. So you are now relieved of confusion. You know what you want, but you're stuck still thinking about it. 7 of Pentacles. And this is taking some time. This has taken some time, and I feel like it is still taking time. You're still in hermit mode. You're still in thought mode. Maybe at this point not trying to figure out if this person's right for you or not, but trying to figure out how you move forward from here since you failed the first attempt. Is this person still going to be interested? They will be, because they are your soulmate. 2 of Cups, Lovers, Empress card. 9 of Cups in reverse again. A lot of insecurity of not knowing if this was right for you. The Star. You may be feeling a little bit of a lack of hope that you can move forward now after not being direct about how you feel about this relationship and this person. There's the Lovers again, clarifying the Fool. You need to throw caution to the wind this next time around. You know you're stuck. You know you're stuck fixing this now, Taurus, because the first time around you didn't do it right. And the Devil card is clarifying the Knight of Swords. Your inaction or your inability to be direct with what you wanted is what caused you to falter in this relationship. 6 of Swords, this time in the upright position. So you had it in the reverse in your underlying energy. So right now you're stuck. You're thinking about this. In your outcome set of cards, you have the 6 of Swords in the upright position with the 2 of Cups. At this point in time, Taurus, you're wanting to move toward love to make this happen and to make it right. You know, it's interesting because Aries, the Aries reading that I did, Aries was going through some shit, some hard shit, but they were doing the same thing, kind of moving toward a relationship that ultimately they kind of fucked things up. Your energy is, your reading is similar, but there's grief, but there's not so much grief that I don't think that you're on the precipice of moving toward being able to make a move. This feels like Aries felt like they had some time, they had to work things out. There was some hard things going on with their reading. Yours feels a little bit more like, you just have to kind of move past a few more bumps in the road before you can get up and move again toward this relationship. I'm sorry, you know, I'm having some issues with my throat. I'm trying not to cough, so if I sound weird, I sound like I'm stumbling through my words, it's because I'm trying not to cough. And what I really should do is just cough and drink my coffee, and then maybe I can actually speak clearly. So there you are in your head right now, Taurus, Nine of Swords. Probably at this point in time trying to figure out what your next step is, how you move forward with this. And there's your energy. King of Swords in reverse, because right now you're not taking action, you're probably not speaking to this person, or you're not speaking about this relationship in general. It's interesting, I don't, other than the King of Swords, I don't have this other person's energy. I do have the Empress here. This Empress is very feminine energy. So if you are a male Taurus, this reading might be directly for you. If you're a female Taurus, you might be the Empress. If you're you might be cross-watching for a Taurus. And remember, be flexible with the energy. Also, the cards, even though they can be male, female, does not indicate that you are male or female. You could have the energy of the King of Swords, even if you're a woman. So your actions, or inactions, I should say, your inability to move forward, take direct action to seal the deal. Let's call it a seal the deal, because I do feel like this feels like a new relationship, and I don't know if you had a prior opportunity to kind of get to know this person. We have the Ten of Pentacles here in the outcome set of cards. Your inability to take action may have actually caused in a split or a breakup. This can also indicate that maybe you or this person had to break it off with a third party first, or had to break away from another situation in order to have a relationship with you. I feel like the fact that you were a little confused about this relationship caused some imbalance, may have caused this person to second guess whether or not this relationship was right for them as well. And again, caused some delays, a false start. You were not throwing caution to the wind. I do feel at this point in time you need to do that. But you were trapped by wanting to make sure. You were trapped by wanting to make sure that this was the right thing. Instead of taking a leap of faith, you were trying to test the waters out by maybe being a little sneaky, going around. Wait, I'm losing my words. I can't think of what I want to say. You weren't being direct with this person. So, for example, let's say you were trying to clear up your confusion as to whether or not this was something you wanted to pursue or not. So you were talking to friends, for example. Tell me more about so-and-so. Tell me more about this Empress. We're going to call this person that you're interested in the Empress, okay? Tell me more about Empress. And you might get some friends' points of view about who this person was, or whether or not they might be interested in you, you know, that kind of thing. Sneak it around, try to figure things out because you were unsure. Maybe you didn't have hope that this would work out. Maybe you didn't see that you two were, you know, the soulmate type material. Maybe you didn't have an understanding that this was the type of person that was meant for you. And you wanted to be sure before you took action. You wanted to be sure. But that hesitation is what caused you to fail. You weren't willing to take that leap of faith. And so that ultimately, for some reason, not being willing to just jump into this or take a chance, resulted in this not working out. Keep going back to this devil energy with this Knight of Swords in reverse. And then the Hangman in reverse. This ultimately was your demise with this relationship. Was the hesitation to act. It's not a lost cause, not based on what I'm seeing in the cards, Taurus. You still have plenty of hope here, and I say that because this person, you know, with all this energy of Two of Cups twice in this Hermit card, you have come to realize that this is your person. And if this is your person, then there's hope. Plain and simple. Because if this is your person, then you are their person, right? You can't have this being your person and then they've got somebody else as their person. Then you've got that third party triangle situation, love triangle situation. And I don't see third party here. Thank goodness, Taurus. But you are still in your head. So here's the deal. You're stuck in your head and you're stuck thinking about this, and I can tell you're done. You're just tired of this. You might even be getting bored thinking about it, thinking, why the fuck am I still thinking about this? Stuck in my head over the situation that was a failed opportunity and love for me. And maybe reluctant to talk about it just because maybe you're just feeling even more insecure than before because you've screwed this up. It's not a screw up, Taurus. It's just a misstep. It's just a false start. I mean, Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands, you still have the opportunity for a passionate new beginning. You're not talking about it because, again, you might feel like you failed, might feel like you threw this opportunity away. It took you some time. To learn and to figure out that this was right for you. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we're all human. But now that you know, these cards, I'm turning them all every which way. Okay, let's do one more set. See if we can't get any advice for you, Taurus. And then I'm going to wrap up this reading for you. It feels like you've been through it. And again, you might be feeling some anguish. You might be mulling this over in your head, trying to figure out where you went wrong. I think you know where you went wrong. I don't think there's any more confusion. Seven of Cups in reverse twice on the table. I think you've figured this out. But I do feel like you know that this roundabout way of trying to get things off the ground with this person, a little fly in front of my face, was the wrong way to go about it. That you probably should have just come out right off the bat and said, look, I'm interested. What do you think? Can we go out for coffee? Can we talk about this? I have a feeling this person would have been and will still be very receptive to hearing you out and going out with you and seeing where things go from there. So don't give up, Taurus. There's definitely hope in the cards here. Stay strong. Let's get another set of cards out before I start to cough again. Very frustrating. Okay. Four of Earth. This is about feeling like you may have squandered your opportunity. You've thrown it away. You had something in front of you and now it's gone. Mother of Earth, this is your person's energy. Mother of Earth, this is wifey material, by the way, Taurus. This is somebody who's very nurturing, loyal, loving, grounded, capable, willing to be a full participant in, in not only a partnership, but family and home. This is someone who, once you have somebody like that in your life, you don't let them go. You feel like you've thrown that away. You haven't, Taurus. You have not. Because of the unknowns, because you were unsure about whether or not this person was the one for you, You may have felt like that childish approach or inexperienced approach or naive approach towards not knowing if this was right for you or not being clear about this relationship or where it was going. You may have, now looking back on it, I feel like you think, oh gosh, why did I handle it that way? I should have done this instead. You know, we all go through things and experience life differently, and the good part about all of this is you learn from your mistakes, right? And then you grow from your mistakes if you're able to correct them. Elemental of fire and 3 of earth. So I feel like right now you may be in the middle of harnessing some harsh energy, because I do feel like you're down on yourself. 9 of Swords, you may feel a lack of hope still. Maybe feeling like you can't make that move to that step forward to fix things or to try again. And this is about working with somebody, about maybe building a future, about being successful with a partnership. Wait, give yourself some time to get through these harsh feelings and self-doubt, because you don't want to try again until the energy is positive. Because that person, there's definitely hope here, Taurus, but you need to get your emotions under control. This is about having chaotic emotions, not knowing which way is up. 8 of earth, right now you have the sense of failure about this relationship, and you want to be able to turn these right side up first. So I think the cards are telling you to give it some time. There is definite hope here. And when you do make this effort again to move toward this person, make it a direct effort. Be direct with them. Tell them what you want. Ask them out. Be forthright. Be honest. Tell them how you feel. I mean, you don't need to necessarily knock on the door and say, "You're my empress, marry me," Taurus. You don't necessarily need to do that, but you can, give them a call and say, "Hey, can we have some coffee? I really like you. I think you're cool," and then take it from there. You know what to do, Taurus. Your heart will tell you what to do. I promise you. Anyway, Taurus, I'm going to leave that there. I hope this was helpful. I hope that my coughing and sniffing didn't bother you too much. I wish all the best for you, and I hope this gave you some clarity and some confidence more than anything else. Go for it. It's worth a try. You can't, it's always worth the risk. Even if it ends up not working out, you've got that experience to take with you into the future to make things right the next time around. So I wish you all the best, Taurus. Take care and join me again sometime. Bye.